I hate bicycle laws.
Welcome to Grumble Goat. My name is Matt Labodka, and this is a show about all the small things that drive me insane. Let's grumble.
I may be a bit biased because I ride a bicycle every day, but why would bicycles be subject to the same laws that cars are subject to? That doesn't make any sense. The rules of the road weren't written for pedestrians and bicycles. They were written for cars, because cars are death machines. Unrestricted, cars can just run over anybody willy-nilly. If drivers didn't have restrictions on them, they'd just be driving on the sidewalks and driving through shop windows. Oh wait, they already do that. Bicyclists, on the other hand, are barely larger than a pedestrian, and they're going a little bit faster than a pedestrian, but nobody's dying on bicycles. Nobody's killing each other on bicycles. We signal with our hands. It's the most simplistic, unobtrusive way to transport yourself. It's good for the earth, it's good for your body, it's good for your lungs, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. 10 people, each in their own car, on one block in New York City is a traffic jam. But put those same 10 people on a bicycle and you've got a clear, open road. The idea that if you don't come to a complete stop on a bicycle and you can get a citation as if you were driving a car is ridiculous. First of all, a collision on a bicycle is only going to lead to a scraped knee at worst. But second of all, bicycles are driven by manpower. If I come to a complete stop on a bicycle, it's completely up to me and my legs to get me back up to speed again, using all of my exertion and force to try and get myself to the next stop sign. Whereas if you're in a car, you're sitting in your comfortable little armchair in your climate-controlled environment, and all you have to do is move your foot slightly to the left and then to the right again. And I guarantee you that bicyclists are paying way more attention to the road than cars are. Mortality has a way of commanding your attention like that. And I'll give you that there are idiot bicyclists out there, sure. But I'll bet everyone will agree that there's a lot more idiot drivers. And I'm simply pointing out that all those laws on the road were penned specifically to curb the dangerous drivers. Because cars in America kill 40,000 people a year. That's why we have all those rules of the road. That's why when you're learning to drive, you have to take driver's ed. There's a written test. There's a practical test. There's a lot of loopholes to jump through to get a license to drive a car. Whereas when you're learning how to ride a bicycle, it's basically just 2 lessons. Get your balance and watch out for cars. I hate that the rules of the road that were specifically penned for cars were retroactively and arbitrarily applied to bicyclists, and that's the grumble.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
What?
Grumble, 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 grumble. What's got your goat?
For the latter half of the show, we'll bring in my better half, Veronique, for an unpretentious look and a segment we call
What's got your goat?
You're looking nice today, Veronique.
Thank you. I have my new shoes on today.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
They're a beautiful magenta pink.
A lot of nude toe coming through in that shoe.
There is a nude toe, and I did think about a toe ring. I opted on not.
The shoe speaks for itself.
I had enough accessories. I actually also don't have my toenails painted, so I really don't want anyone to look down there anyway.
Oh, okay. We should avert our eyes.
But I did want people to look at my shoes.
Right. You sent me a picture of 2 mismatched shoes yesterday.
I did. Well, I was so excited that the package came because I wasn't expecting the shoes to come yesterday. I was expecting them to come on Tuesday when they said that they delivered them, but then they actually didn't deliver them. Very happy because it would have been a nightmare.
It was
Super
weird
annoying.
that they sent both right shoes from the pairs and then later sent both left shoes from the pairs.
No, they sent both shoes. I only pulled out one of one.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was talk of multiple packages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my flowers still never came. Someone took those.
The flowers?
It's okay. They're fake flowers, so like whatever.
Oh,
but
fake flowers.
Well, I was going to use them for the cork wreaths.
Right.
And
For V purpose.
for V-purpose.
Yeah,
Yes,
to
exactly.
V-purpose them.
Yes, to V-purpose my bought fake flowers.
Yeah.
But alas,
I got the things I ordered today too.
I know you were so worried about that.
Yes. USPS.
USPS, you know.
Our specific post office has a habit of clicking delivered when they really just leave it at the shop and wait for you to come 3 days down.
Right. Well, I really feel like it goes in phases.
Yeah. I wonder if it depends on like what transportation the post person decides to use. Like if they take the big truck out for the drive and go door to door, they probably don't mind taking the packages. But if they're just using the little wheelbarrow, they got that it's
don't
like
know.
saddlebags on
It's
a
a
wheelbarrow
saddle
sort of thing.
bag on like a tricycle.
Yeah, if they do
Yeah.
that, they probably don't want to take all the packages, but they don't want to disappoint Jeff Bezos, so they click delivered,
Right.
even though they didn't actually deliver it. They're like, it's at the post office, it's close enough.
Right. I never want to assume that someone's stole it.
I don't know. You jumped pretty straight to, I think it was the person on the third floor.
Well, here's the thing about the third floor. Like almost 5 years ago now, my package went missing. I went a little insane and I wrote on a Post-it, if anyone has my package, as I wrote,
let me see your package on a Post-it note.
Every single floor, if you saw my package, please return it to me. Someone comes out on the third floor and he says, my mom has this here for you. She was saving it for you.
Oh, saving it.
So I was like, amazing.
Mom grabbed your package and
Thank you.
saving it for you.
Exactly. Thank you for saving that package.
Thank you for
me.
saving it from all the thieves on the third floor. Anyway, the shoes look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So when the post office person decides I have to take the van.
I don't think they have vans. They have like little trucks.
Sure, let's call it a little truck.
Thank you.
We'll call it a little truck.
I saw like a white van.
You want a picture of that box truck?
I want the box
That
truck.
very
That's
boxy truck.
a safe picture in my mind.
How do they find parking? Because there's no parking in New York City.
Well, they don't. They just keep like driving to house.
Oh, right. And they just double park. They
Yes.
just block a lane if they need to.
They
Almost
do.
as if rules don't apply to them. They just block a lane. And no police officer's going to give them a ticket.
No, but I also don't think that the post office is really there that long. They don't get tickets.
Because there are exceptions to the rules of the road, right?
Yes.
What do rules of the road exist for?
Well, to make sure people don't crash.
Okay. What happens in a crash?
Well, people could get hurt.
Oh, people get hurt.
Yes.
When what happens?
When they get run into.
By what?
By a car.
Oh, a car.
Yeah.
That would hurt if you get run into by a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to keep cars in check.
Cars need to be in check with rules of the road.
Absolutely. I
Yes.
agree with you 100%.
Yes.
I'm on a bicycle.
Okay. You need to follow the rules of the road
Why?
because you're also using the road.
You're a pedestrian.
Yes. And
There
I
are-
use the sidewalk.
Uh-huh. And then you use a crosswalk.
Yes.
And how often do you wait for the little white symbol?
Actually, in New York City, I wait for it quite often.
Bull roar.
Yes.
No, not a single pedestrian in this city waits for the walk signal.
So we look both ways and then we go.
Oh, you look both ways. And then you walk across when you feel it's safe.
Yes, but I also
And
watch.
is
for
that what the law says
bicycles.
to do?
No.
No, it's not.
Get a ticket for jaywalking.
That's right. That's what's called jaywalking, but jaywalking is an insult. In the 1920s, a jay was another word for jerk.
Oh.
Yeah. So car manufacturers started saying, oh, he was a jaywalker. He was a jerk walker.
Oh, how about?
Car manufacturers started blaming pedestrians for getting hit. And that's where jaywalking came from. And so now it's illegal to jaywalk, even though all it was an insult by car manufacturers.
How about that?
Interesting, right?
It's super interesting.
It's almost as if the rules of the road were written for cars.
Oh, are we talking about cars?
No, we're talking about bicyclists having to stop at stop signs.
Oh.
So why should a
Car.
bicycle, if a pedestrian doesn't have to stop at a stop sign, why does a bicyclist?
They're treating it as if it's the same thing.
I'm going to write him a $125 ticket because he didn't stop at a stop sign that wouldn't exist if cars didn't exist.
Well, do you think that as a deterrent to ride your bicycle around the city?
So you're suggesting that the mayor doesn't want bicyclists to exist?
No, the mayor does. I mean, or at least the old mayor.
The old mayor?
Bloomberg.
Gloomberg?
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg. That's
Gerberg.
what I called it.
Bloomberg?
Bloomberg most certainly wanted bicyclists. That was part of his expansion in the city, was to create bike lanes so he could
And there are a lot of bike lanes
cut
in
the
this city.
emissions for all the cars.
Yeah, bicycles are good for traffic and good for people
Absolutely, they are.
and good for the earth.
Yes, of course.
So why should we adhere them to a strict code of conduct that's specifically designed for murderous vehicles?
Money, money, money.
Oh, you think it's money?
Ain't it funny? Well, in Amsterdam, they're very big on bicycles there.
Oh, yeah? How many stoplight tickets did they write in Amsterdam?
I don't know the answer to that question, but when I was there, they specifically told me to get out of the way. It's because the bicyclists they'll hit you. Like, they're like very serious. Like,
Nice.
there's really no cars because it's a lot of canals and it's bicycles.
Yeah, and they had very stringent rules of the road there?
I guess so. Like, don't get in their way.
Oh, the rule of the road was for the pedestrians not to get in their way.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Why didn't you just pick up a bicycle?
I don't think you could have rented them at the time.
The thing about bicycle riders, if you're a pedestrian and you're upset with a bicyclist, you can just push them over.
Like
it's not like a car where it's like basically a soldier in a tank. And like if they try to run you over on the crosswalk, you can't shove them over. They're in a car.
Well, and then how do we justify the road rage?
If two bicyclists are mad at each other, just push each other over. And they might have a bruised knee or some scraped skin. That's it.
Right. Both of you are going to get hurt.
But slightly.
Right.
Whereas in your car, you're like, I got airbags, I got side impact.
Well, do you think that the exertion of physical exercise keeps you from the road rage on a bicycle?
That's an excellent point you bring up because you're already working. So like you're working that frustration out in real time.
Exactly. I feel like whenever I've heard angry bicyclists, they've been yelling at people.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, I'm cycling.
One time I got a ticket for not having a bell on my bicycle because in New York City, you're required to have a sound-making device on your bike.
Don't talk to me about the tickets that you have received.
I contested it and I got it fixed because in a car, if you get an equipment violation, you can just fix it and go to the court and be like, I fixed it.
Right.
So I fixed it and I took my receipt for a $3 bell to the courthouse.
Totally.
And I bring it to the judge and he's like, what is this? And I'm like, I fixed the maintenance problem on my bicycle. And he's like working on the computer and he's got his assistant working on the computer. They're both staring at the computer and they're like, that's not in the system. We don't have a thing.
What?
And I'm like, I just yell at people if I have a problem. I can go down any block, every single block. I see a car making a violation. Cars are violating the law all the time because cars rule this city. We know that. We've already talked about double parking.
Well, they rule the country.
Oh, sure. Well, this country was founded on the automobile.
Yeah.
Ford and whatnot.
Exactly.
We put up all these highways across the country and bicycles aren't even allowed to use the highways.
I know. Wouldn't that be interesting if we built bicycle lanes for highways?
The freeways are already wide enough to have bicycles. You can just ride a bicycle on it. You'll get pulled over, but
well, because I don't think it's safe because they're going if someone accidentally hits someone because they're going like 85 miles an hour and they
bicycles can't go 85 miles.
No, I'm talking.
Oh, you
about
mean if a car
cars.
hits somebody?
Yes, because cars are big and it's like
Cars are big and scary and dangerous.
Yes.
And somebody should put some rules of the road in place.
Yes.
There should be some sort of testing and licensing procedure in place before people are allowed to man one of those automobiles.
Yes. Well, the thing is they do have that.
To the barest extent. When I was 16 years old, when I was 16 and 1 day years old, I was able to go into a DMV with my mom's minivan and get a driver's license for one of the most dangerous things in this country. The testing should be much more meticulous.
But in New Jersey, I mean, I had to parallel park. I had to do a K-turn.
But what you just described to me sounds like the simplest of tests to see if you can maneuver an automobile. But it doesn't seem to say whether you cannot kill a person.
Well, I think that's a different test. If you were going to create a test not to kill a person, then that means that you would need to create a driving course that had a lot of accidents. Like you get a flat tire, you start hydroplaning. There's a baby on the road that you shouldn't hit. You know what I mean? Like
now you're piquing my interest. This
like
is the test that I want to approve.
No,
it should be that
it
hard.
should be that
you
hard.
You should have to show that you know what to do when there's snow on the road, when there's water on the road.
Snow, potholes.
When there's a baby on the road.
When there's a baby on the road. Yeah, exactly. Or, a raccoon. Same thing.
Now, how old were you when you got your bicycle license?
I never had one.
Oh, you've been an illegal bicyclist this whole time.
That's right. Penny Lane was never registered.
What's Penny Lane?
Penny Lane was my bicycle when I was growing up.
Yeah.
It was pink. And I'd be like, come on, Penny Lane. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Penny Lane.
That's that road rage.
Yeah. And I'd be like cycling, like cycle.
Are you saying psychoing?
No, it was cycling.
Psycho.
Yeah.
How much did your insurance run?
I didn't have any insurance with my bicycle.
Oh, wow. You're a real rebel.
I know.
Rebel on two wheels there.
That's right. I feel like someone stole that bike. How do you feel about little golf carts riding around?
Little golf carts?
Yeah. On Island Time, like in New Jersey. With
when
all those
we
golf
go
carts.
to Cape May and we ride a little golf cart around, that's the cutest, funnest thing ever.
It's the best thing ever.
But that's because there's barely any car traffic down there.
I mean, it's mixed because there's so many bicyclists.
There's a lot of bicyclists.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of cars.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of golf carts.
Right. And no
guess
one.
What? The cars are more respectful down there.
Well, they have to be because they're so afraid that they're going to hit a bicyclist.
Wouldn't that be a better life? If everybody was afraid of murdering people, that'd be better.
Yes.
What's your favorite bicycle memory?
Penny Lane. This whole experience was like, I loved Penny Lane.
Lovely.
What's your favorite bicycle memory?
I'll never forget. I went with my sister. We bicycled across the Florida Keys. We bicycled from Key Largo down to Key West.
Oh my
110 miles. And we were almost to Key West.
Okay.
And Lori and I are bicycling next to each other. And I said to her, Lori, we have to finish this because if I stop now, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to finish. And it was at that moment that the police pulled us over.
No. Why? What did you do? Did you not stop at a stoplight?
He got out of his car and he's like, where are you guys going tonight? And we were like, well, the road goes one way. We're going to Key West. There's only one place the road goes. We're going to Key West.
Yeah.
He said, okay. Because I got a call from a concerned driver. Oh. They said they saw some bicyclists out here in the dark and they were concerned that they'd get hit.
Now, wasn't that sweet?
Sweet?
Yes.
No, that was mind your business. Why would you call the police on bicyclists?
Well, it was dark outside.
Of course it was dark outside.
So they were concerned. That was a good Samaritan right there.
No, why would you call the police on people just bicycling?
Who knows? Maybe it was an old lady.
Of course it was an old lady. It wasn't a young 20-something being like, I'm spending the night in Key West having some drink. Oh my God, are those bicyclists safe?
I don't know. Maybe her son murders people.
This has been an episode of Grumble Goat.
Thanks for listening.
I'm Matt Labatka.
I'm Veronique Hurley. Please subscribe.
I hate when people say please subscribe.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
It's a saddlebag on like a tricycle.